Dream Team, it's your boy D Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with Race to Rescue Missing Titanic Sub as experts question what went wrong on a current affair. And we got our host, Allie. Somebody in the comment section told me she had moved over. Was it Channel 9? Oh, Today Show Australia. It was Today Show Australia to a current affair. But before we dive in, I've heard a lot about this missing sub. I've seen it all over social media, all over Facebook, Twitter, and I've seen jokes about it. I've seen worries about it. It's just everywhere. Now I know this reaction, it's gonna be put out late, so by the time this gets released, we either know if they did find it or if they didn't find it. But unfortunately, it did go missing. Looking for the they went down to look at the Titanic, I believe, and then it just went missing, and they were running out of oxygen. It was getting cold, and it's just a very tragic story, a very sad story, and you just don't wish this on anyone. You don't wish this on anyone, and by the time this releases, I do hope that they found the sub. I do hope that the people on the sub were okay. I do have them in my prayers. I don't know. But before, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, give the video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. I'm intrigued to hear them on what could have possibly went wrong. But here we go.
Well, right now there's a massive search underway for the missing submersible with 5 people on board, lost while exploring the Titanic wreck deep in the North Atlantic Ocean. They have enough oxygen to last until Thursday afternoon our time, so the clock is ticking.
And I'm reacting to this Thursday morning. Like I said, by the time I actually release it, it'll be days, maybe even a week after. But this, right now that I'm reacting to it, it is June 22nd, Thursday morning. And so I'm praying that they find it.
The vessel was designed with a 96-hour sustainment capability if there was an emergency on board. And so we're using that time, making the best use of every moment of that time to locate the vessel.
The 5 people on board: a British billionaire, a French diving expert, a Pakistani...
A British billionaire? Jesus.
...businessman and his son, and the founder of the sub company Ocean Gate Expeditions, Stockton Rush.
Wow.
Taking a completely new approach to the sub design, and it's all run with this game controller and these touch screens. So if you want to go forward, you press forward. If you want to go back, you go back. Turn left, turn right, go down, go up. And it's Bluetooth, so I can hand it to anybody. And it's meant for a 16-year-old to throw it around, and super durable. We keep a couple of spares on board just in case.
Oh, wow. That's how it's controlled? Technology is absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane what you're capable of freaking making, man. Because many people could just like drive this thing. If it was that easy as like just a controller, you'd assume like many people could use a controller.
1 hour, 45 minutes into the dive, on its way to the wreck of the Titanic, which sits at a depth of almost 4,000 metres. Director James Cameron has logged dozens of dives down to the Titanic in a similar-sized sub. But he's also been much deeper, 11 kilometres to the deepest point of the ocean, the Mariana Trench. I was lucky enough to meet him on that expedition in 2012.
You're in a place that's so remote, nobody can come and help you. I mean, if I got into trouble in Earth orbit, we could always ask the Russians to come and help us, or even the Chinese. There's no help where we went with this vehicle.
Jesus.
His dive would not have been possible if it wasn't for an Aussie, Ron Allen. A TV technician by trade, Ron built the sub for James Cameron, much of it in his garage in Sydney. The challenge for Ron, designing something that could withstand the enormous pressure so far beneath the surface and return the filmmaker safely. Ron joins me. Ron, really appreciate your time.
It's insane how you could build something like that that's capable of doing that. Like, the intelligence of humanity is just insane to me. It's absolutely awesome, and but that's just incredible.
There are 5 people on board this sub. They're running out of oxygen Thursday afternoon. How much hope do you have that they'll be rescued?
I really would like to see a positive outcome. Submersibles are designed with quite a few safety features. They have fail-safe systems, and hopefully, say they have lost power, that one of these fail-safe systems will drop a weight, and hopefully the sub will ascend at some stage.
Well, just take me through this, because at this point, obviously, we have no idea what's happened, but you understand this more than most. You are vulnerable when you're so deep in the ocean. What are some of the things that may have gone wrong?
Well, let's hope it's not an engineering problem. If the hull were to collapse, that is catastrophic. Hopefully, but the engineering has been done properly. The materials are sound, and that the hull will stay intact. That would have been the worst case, that there would be a collapse of the pressure hull.
That's worst case scenario. Say it was an electrical fault, and that's something that's being speculated. Obviously, no one knows for sure at the moment. What would they be experiencing now? Would it be pitch black?
Inside the submersible on the bottom of the ocean is about 2 degrees C, so without power the sub will start to get colder. They'll be consuming their oxygen. They have carbon dioxide scrubbers, which will remove the carbon dioxide from that atmosphere. So apart from getting cold, and hopefully they have some warm clothing, sleeping bags. We certainly carry sleeping bags in Deep Sea Challenger. Should you be stuck without power and have to wait for a rescue, just hoping that it is just purely a battery outage. The connector may have failed, they've lost communication, that it won't prevent a fail-safe release mechanism from working. It might be a powered mechanism, you lose power, it'll release. Or it might be a galvanic release, which might take 12 or 24 hours to release a weight. And that will bring it back to the surface as well. So,
and what if it is more catastrophic than an electrical fault?
Look, short of going down there and looking for the wreckage, there's no rescue vehicle really that could go to their aid. When you're diving with submersibles, often these submersibles is a one-off. It's the only vehicle that can get to the depths.
So if it's on the bottom of the ocean right now, there is no chance of the 5 people on board being rescued by Thursday afternoon?
If it's still on the bottom of the ocean, how can I say this, and it's collapsed, they would be no longer. But usually if a pressure vessel were to collapse, it is fairly catastrophic. It's over in an instant. So.
Bro. And I know he's trying to say it to where it's, you know what I'm saying, not make it sound as tragic as what the actual situation would be. But he kind of just said it right there. If it's at the bottom of the ocean, like, it's already collapsed. The pressure's too much, and if it's collapsed, it would be instant. And you just absolutely hate it for those people on board. I don't know the situation right now. At the end of this video, I'll look at my phone and check see if there's any updates. But sheesh, I hope that I just hope that they can be saved. I just hope that they can be saved. But the way he's sounding, like, it doesn't sound like they can be.
So what would tend to happen is that the pressure hull there is like a geometric shape, a cylinder or a sphere, but inherently strong while they are a sphere or a cylinder. But as soon as they go out of round, bang, the thing's going to collapse, like a tin can.
How do we not know where this thing is? We can put a tracker on our kids. Surely we can keep tabs on a sub.
I would think that.
Look, there are location devices, and they should be able to keep track. Deep Sea Challenger had an AIS system. Once the sub surfaced, it became a registered ship on a chart, and other shipping in the area would see it would come up as an AIS signal on their radar.
The fact that...
So does it have to... It has to come above water to be seen, or like she said, how have we not found it? Like, you would assume like it could be tracked like underwater, or so I don't get that. Does it has to come up before it can be seen on a radar, or that's what I don't understand.
We don't know where it is. Does that suggest to you that it is somewhere under the ocean?
Yeah, if it hasn't been located on the surface at this stage, it's saying they could be just waiting time for a release mechanism to act.
If it had made its way to the surface somewhere, could they then get out of that sub, let the fresh air in?
There may be reports that the hatch is actually bolted from the outside. If you were to open the hatch of a submersible on the surface, it would probably flood and go straight to the bottom. You'd want to get out really quick.
What you're saying is, I mean, there is a chance that this thing is on the surface, that the people inside can see the ocean, but don't have access to fresh air.
Yeah, if they are on the surface, at least the surface ocean temperature is a little bit warmer than 2 degrees, which would be at the bottom of the ocean. So they'll still be starting to feel cold, particularly without power. So yeah, just hopefully that they do have warm clothing and sleeping bags to climb into.
Look, the sub is roughly the size of a minivan, and I remember you showing me how to get in and out of your sub that time. I mean, it was tiny. I could barely fit, and I remember thinking, how uncomfortable would James Cameron be inside this? You didn't build it for comfort, did you?
Ours is certainly not built for comfort. Ours is more the size of a small freezer.
Oh, wow.
It would be as cold as a freezer on a dive. But no, it wasn't built for comfort.
Built for safety?
It was built for safety.
How do you rate the achievement of getting James Cameron to the bottom of the Mariana Trench, the deepest point of the ocean, and how much pressure did you feel? This is one of the world's most famous people.
Yeah. The pressure at that depth is immense. The pressure on me, was also, quite immense. I think
even greater, I would argue.
James was, a fairly, hard taskmaster, I guess. That, he liked, ticking boxes, making sure things were safe. He would often conduct meetings with the team, and he would be arguing for hours about a stainless steel washer versus a titanium washer. We wanted a safe sub. He wanted to come back. Yeah.
It's obviously dangerous. Should this be something available to tourists?
Well, as saying, if the engineering has been done correctly, there should not be any danger.
That's tough to say, but it's like, man, I think as humanity just progresses, you want to be able to conquer everything. You want to conquer the air. You want to conquer water. You want. I feel like, I don't know, our innate sense is to like conquer everything. You feel me? So it's like I'm sure people want to conquer being able to go underwater to deep depths and stuff like that. Me personally, I don't, but humanity, I feel like humanity in the end wants to conquer, and it's like our innate, I don't know how to say it.
So, you do sometimes accept, a small risk, knowing that, these are backed up, by training, experience, or, some sort of contingency.
So Stockton Rush, who is the founder of the company, he's obviously on the sub, so he's missing right now. He's talked about it being piloted by a video game controller, that the lighting inside was purchased from a camping store. And he also said this: there's a limit. At some point, safety is a pure waste. He acknowledged the risk with this type of adventure, and he added this: I think I can do this just as safely by breaking the rules. What do you think of that?
It's a bit of an unusual statement, I think. I just hope people, get out of it okay. Hopefully that if it's missing, it's going to be a time release, and I'm just waiting for that news.
Mm-hmm. If it does pop up on the surface, do you think it'll be found pretty quickly?
Yeah. No, I think I'd have to get a ship to it. I'm sure there's ships standing by that could put a line onto that sub to keep it on the surface.
Well, look, let's hope that there is some really good news between now and Thursday afternoon, and that they all return safely.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a positive outcome.
Like I said, it is right now. It's Thursday morning, and I just want to kind of Google and see if there's been any updates. I'm not really seeing live updates. It says they reached seafloor to try to find it 1 hour ago. It looks like they lost this sub. It looks like they can't find, like they can't track it. Like there's It's saying that medical teams are joining on standby right soon. If they can't find it, they'll be ready as soon as they do. But it looks like they just lost it. Like I said, it is Thursday morning, very early, so it's like they still have a good, I feel like maybe afternoonish. I'm gonna say 6 to 8 hours to find this thing, and so just prayers that they do. That's all we got for this. You guys got it for every video suggestion. You can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. It's your boy Neal, out.